Netflix's algorithm is lying to you. Right now, there are legitimately incredible sci-fi movies sitting on that platform, gathering digital dust, because the algorithm would rather show you the same 6 movies you've already scrolled past 17 times this week. I spent way too many hours diving into Netflix's catalogue, reading reviews, cross-referencing ratings, and honestly questioning my life choices. But I found them. 10 sci-fi movies that critics loved, the audiences slept on, and that Netflix keeps burying under another rom-com you're never gonna watch. These aren't just pretty good for a Tuesday night movies. Some of these are genuinely among the best sci-fi films of the last decade. Starting with number 10, ARQ. The year is 2016. Netflix is still figuring out this whole original movie thing, and they quietly drop this little time loop thriller that basically nobody talks about. Here's the setup. A guy wakes up next to his ex-girlfriend. Masked intruders burst in. Things go very badly. And then, he wakes up again. Same morning, same intruders, same chaos. But here's what makes ARQ different from every other time loop movie. It's not trying to be funny. It's not trying to be an action blockbuster. It's a claustrophobic puzzle box, where every single loop peels back another layer of, wait, who's actually the bad guy here? The whole thing takes place in basically one location, made on like $2 million, and it's more tense than movies with 50 times that budget. The ending is deliberately ambiguous, which, honestly, some people hate that. But if you're the kind of person who likes your sci-fi with a side of, I need to think about this for 3 days, this one's for you. Number 9. Psychokinesis. Okay, so you know Train to Busan. Zombies on a train, absolute banger, same director. But instead of zombies, he made a superhero movie? Sort of. The main character is this middle-aged security guard who steals toilet paper from work. Not exactly Thor material. He accidentally gains telekinetic powers, and his first thought isn't, time to fight crime, it's, I can do magic tricks at a nightclub for tips. And the villain isn't some alien overlord. It's a construction company trying to evict small business owners so they can build a shopping mall. The climax of this movie is literally a guy using superpowers to fight gentrification. Western audiences expecting Marvel-style spectacle were confused. Korean audiences got exactly what they wanted, which is a weird, emotional, surprisingly funny movie about a deadbeat dad trying to reconnect with his daughter, while also throwing riot police around with his brain. It's got 100% on Rotten Tomatoes from critics. The audience score is way lower. That gap? That's the mismatch between expectations and reality. Go in knowing what it actually is, and you'll have a great time. Number 8. See You Yesterday. Produced by Spike Lee. Directed by Stefan Bristol. And it does something really clever with the time travel genre. 2 brilliant teenagers in Brooklyn build a time machine in their garage. Backpacks, scavenged electronics, pure genius. The first act feels like a fun throwback to those 80s adventure movies. You're having a good time. And then the film takes a sharp turn. One of their family members is killed by police. And suddenly, the time travel isn't about adventure anymore. It's about trying to fix something that keeps happening no matter how many times they go back. The sci-fi premise becomes a metaphor for systemic injustice. Some things are so deeply rooted that even controlling time can't easily undo them. Here's the thing. This movie refuses to give you a neat, happy ending. And some people really didn't like that. But that's kind of the point. It's uncomfortable by design. And for a 90-minute movie, it hits harder than films twice its length. Number 7. Mirage. From Spain. Director Oriol Paulo. If you've seen The Invisible Guest, you know this guy loves his twisty plots. A woman discovers she can communicate through an old TV with a kid from 25 years in the past during a freak electrical storm. She warns him about his death, saves his life. Great, right? Except now, her entire present has changed. Her daughter was never born. Her husband doesn't know her. She basically erased her own life by trying to do a good thing. What follows is essentially a mystery thriller where she has to solve a decades-old crime to restore her own reality. And the movie actually keeps its internal logic consistent, which is honestly impressive for a time travel plot. Most movies in this genre fall apart if you think about them too hard. This one holds up. Fair warning, it's in Spanish with subtitles. If that's a deal breaker for you, I don't know what to tell you. You're missing out on some of the best genre cinema being made right now. Number 6. Space Sweepers. South Korea's first big space opera. And it's giving Guardians of the Galaxy vibes, but with way more class commentary. The year is 2092. Earth is basically a wasteland. The rich live in orbital paradise. Everyone else scrapes by. Our heroes? A crew of space janitors. They literally collect debris for a living. Not exactly glamorous. They find a kid who might be a weapon of mass destruction. A corporation wants her. The government wants her. And this group of broke misfits has to decide whether to sell her out or protect her. One thing I really love about this movie is the language. In most Hollywood space films, everyone speaks English because apparently the entire galaxy agreed on that. Here, characters speak Korean, English, French, Russian, whatever, and there's a real-time translation device that handles it. It's such a small detail, but it makes the world feel way more believable. The villain is a little weak, I'll give you that, but the action is spectacular, the crew's chemistry is fantastic, and honestly, it's just a fun ride. If you're finding movies you want to add to your watch list, consider hitting that subscribe button. This channel is basically a treasure map for stuff the algorithm doesn't want you to see, and subscribing actually helps more of these recommendations show up in your feed. Alright, moving on. Number 5. Oxygen. One location, one actor on screen for 90% of the runtime. And somehow, it's one of the most gripping sci-fi thrillers in years. A woman wakes up in a cryogenic pod. She doesn't know who she is, how she got there, or why her oxygen level keeps dropping. She can only communicate with an AI that's helpful, but also weirdly bureaucratic about the whole "you're going to suffocate" situation. The entire film is her trying to piece together her identity while literally running out of air. Every revelation raises more questions, and when you finally understand what's actually happening, it reframes everything you just watched. This came out in 2021, and I think a lot of people connected with the isolation aspect for obvious reasons. But it works as a standalone piece of hard sci-fi too. Melanie Laurent carries the entire film basically lying still, and she's incredible. If you have any tolerance for slower, more cerebral sci-fi, this is essential viewing. Number 4. I Am Mother. A robot raises a human child in a bunker after humanity goes extinct. That's the setup, and for the first chunk of the film, it's almost tender. The robot, voiced by Rose Byrne, is nurturing. The girl grows up, educated, cared for, seemingly loved. Then an injured stranger shows up, claiming she was shot by a robot, and suddenly nothing is what it seemed. This film asks some genuinely uncomfortable questions. If humanity destroyed itself, is an AI justified in engineering a better version? Is Mother a villain, a savior, or something more complicated? The movie refuses to give easy answers. Also, the robot is a practical suit, not CGI. It was built by Weta Workshop, same people who did the creatures in Lord of the Rings. That physical presence makes such a difference. When the robot moves, it feels real, because it actually is. If you liked Ex Machina, this is absolutely in that same conversation. Smart, slow, and deeply unsettling in the best way. Number 3. The Kitchen. Directed by Daniel Kaluuya. Yes, the Oscar-winning actor. This is his directorial debut, alongside Kibwe Tavares. Near-future London. Social housing has been outlawed. The poor live in a massive, crumbling estate called The Kitchen that gets raided by militarized police constantly. The main character works at a funeral home where bodies are composted into trees because burial plots are too expensive. That's such a specific, horrifying detail, and the movie is full of moments like that. The sci-fi elements are subtle, woven into a world that feels about 15 minutes away from now. At its core, this is about a man trying to survive a system designed to crush him, and a kid who might be his son looking for any kind of stability. I'll be honest, this isn't an easy watch. It's heavy. The ending doesn't tie things up neatly, but the world building is stunning, the performances are raw, and it has something real to say about housing, community, and what happens when society decides certain people don't matter. Drop a comment if you've seen this one. I'm genuinely curious what you thought. Number 2. Vesper. This one is from Lithuania, and it looks like it cost $100 million. It did not even close. The premise. Ecological collapse, genetic engineering gone wrong. The wealthy live in floating citadels. Everyone else survives in the mud, scavenging for bioengineered seeds that have been copyrighted to only produce one harvest. Yes, copyrighted seeds. If that sounds familiar, it's basically what some real agricultural companies already do, just taken to a dystopian extreme. The main character is a 13-year-old biohacker trying to unlock seeds that can actually reproduce. She's living in this world of wet, pulsing organic technology, drones that look like insects, computers made of fungus. It's biopunk, and it's gorgeous. The design of this world is incredible. It feels biological, alive, and kind of disgusting in a way that most sci-fi never attempts. If you're tired of sleek, chrome futures, this is the antidote. It got a limited release, then landed on Netflix in certain regions. Wherever you can find it, watch it. It's one of the most original sci-fi films in years. And the number 1 spot, Aniara, Swedish. Based on a poem from 1956, and genuinely one of the most devastating science fiction films I've ever seen. A luxury spaceship is taking colonists from a ruined Earth to Mars. 3-week trip, fancy amenities. Basically a cruise ship in space. Then, debris hits. They have to eject the fuel to survive. The ship is saved, but now it's drifting. No steering. No way home. No way to reach Mars. What was 3 weeks becomes months. Months become years. And the film shows, in excruciating detail, how a society falls apart when there's no hope left. Cults form. Hedonism spirals. Order collapses. There's a room on the ship that lets people experience memories of Earth's nature, and that room eventually dies from absorbing too much human grief. This is not a fun movie. It's beautiful and horrible and philosophically brutal. The spaceship looks like a mundane shopping mall, and that's intentional. It's us, drifting through an indifferent universe, filling the void with distractions until we can't anymore. If you want sci-fi that sticks in your brain for weeks, that makes you feel genuinely small in the cosmos, Aniara earns that top spot. Just, maybe don't watch it when you're already having a rough day. If this video helped you find something new to watch, smash that like button and subscribe. I dig through streaming catalogs so you don't have to. And if you want more hidden gems, check out my video on 10 Netflix thrillers everyone missed. That one's loaded with must-watch picks you've probably never heard of. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.